You might already have a graveyard of hobbies somewhere in your home, a dusty guitar in the corner, a stack of language books you bought with high hopes but never opened, or a half-finished coding project sitting untouched on your laptop. Every time you catch a glimpse of them, something pinches, not because you're lazy, but because you remember exactly how excited you were at the start. And that gap between I wanted this so badly and I left it unfinished is what creates that quiet, lingering guilt. Society has plenty of labels for that loop. Flaky, lacking grit, or the classic line, jack of all trades, master of none. But the story is often scary in how predictable it is. You start with an intense burst of obsession. You read, watch, and learn like you're trying to swallow the whole subject in one go. You're convinced this time it's the thing you truly needed. Then it turns serious when you have to practice, consistently make a lot of mistakes, and slow down. That feeling fades. You get bored, you stop, and you sprint towards something new and shinier. But today I want to offer you a different lens, one that's gentler and more grounded in science. Being a dabbler isn't a character flaw. You're not broken. You're just using the wrong strategy for a brain with unusually high curiosity. What you actually have is the raw foundation of a polymath, a strong knowledge-hunting instinct, a craving for novelty, and the ability to learn incredibly fast in the early stage. The key is how your brain rewards learning. It doesn't just enjoy knowing, it's addicted to the feeling of rapid progress. When you start a new skill, everything is unfamiliar, the learning curve is steep, and you jump from 0 to 1 fast. That speed of improvement creates a strong dopamine hit, almost like you're falling in love with a new subject. That's the novice high. Then you reach the point where you get the core principles, rules, the basic mechanics. And right there, novelty drops. The learning curve starts to flatten. You can still improve, but the progress becomes noticeably slower. For a dopamine-sensitive brain like yours, that rush shuts off almost instantly. This is the plateau, the real fork in the road. Masters keep going to reach deeper layers. Dabblers usually leave right here, if you've hit that exact plateau before comment 8. And here's the important part. This isn't really laziness. Real laziness is not wanting to do anything at all. You do want to move forward, you just don't want to keep going when it feels like the tank is empty. When dopamine pulls back, everything suddenly feels heavier, slower, and not worth the effort. Your subconscious starts running the math. The last 20% demands a ton of energy, but the emotional reward is tiny. So you stop. But I want you to pause here for a second and face this honestly. Did you quit because you truly mastered it or because it started getting hard? A lot of people leave at the exact moment the skill enters the ego-sensitive zone. You make more mistakes, your progress slows down, and you suddenly feel clumsy. And when your ego gets hit, there's a classic reflex. You run back to a place where you can feel competent again, something brand new. At that point, the problem isn't ability, it's fear. The reason that fear keeps beating you so often is because one muscle in your brain has gotten weak. People call it grit or willpower, but it actually has a specific address, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, AMCC. Think of it as your brain's endurance muscle. Whenever you do something you don't feel like doing, practice guitar, when you're bored, push through a difficult chapter, debug a messy piece of code, your AMCC has to engage. But every time you quit, the moment discomfort shows up, it's like you drop the weight. Over time, that muscle shrinks, and then even a small obstacle is enough to make you quit. The good news is that the AMCC isn't fixed. It can grow at any age. Research on superagers, older adults, who still maintain unusually strong memory and thinking suggests they often have a thicker, stronger AMCC because they've spent a lifetime doing hard, uncomfortable things. Which means your problem isn't that you lack character, it's that you lack a training history. And if it's a muscle, you can rebuild it slowly in small doses with the right approach. The training method is progressive overload, just like the gym, and your rule is the 15% push. When you're practicing and you want to quit, don't quit immediately, but also don't force yourself to grind for 4 more hours. Just push 15% further. Plan to read 10 pages, but you're ready to stop at page 3, read page 4, then stop. Plan to practice 20 minutes, but you want to quit at 8, do 1 more minute, then stop. That moment doing it, when you don't feel like it, is 1 rep. If you want me to make a 15% push template, you can reuse daily comment 8. One crucial note, this won't look the same for everyone. If you have ADHD, your dopamine system and executive functions work differently, so just push harder with willpower can sometimes fail or even backfire by draining you and triggering self-blame. With ADHD, you often need external scaffolding instead. Task visualization, break work into tiny, clearly visible steps, a checklist you can see moving. Time visualization, use a timer so you don't feel trapped, or endless Pomodoro countdown time block. Body doubling work, alongside someone else to borrow focus and momentum, in-person call, co-working room. Gamification adds small rewards to compensate for dopamine points, streaks, micro rewards after each block. The last barrier is low tolerance for boredom. The plateau doesn't hurt only because it's hard. It hurts because your baseline stimulation has been pushed too high by hyperstimulation. TikTok, Instagram, sugar games, dopamine becomes cheap and instant. So anything that requires time, learning a language, practicing an instrument, writing code, starts to feel suffocating simply because it's slow. Your brain isn't broken. It's just been tuned to the wrong frequency. So you need a practical dopamine reset stimulus control while you practice. Put your phone in another room. Turn the music off. Don't add extra stimulation just to get through it. Let yourself feel bored. It sounds backwards, but boredom is the blank page your brain needs to switch from consumption mode to creation mode. When the background noise drops, the signal of the skill becomes clear enough for you to stay with it. Now here's my proposal. Give yourself a 6-month challenge. Pick one hobby, doesn't have to become your career, just something you genuinely want to build. The goal isn't to become an expert. The goal is to experience deliberate practice, hit the plateau, feel the dopamine drop, notice your AMCC weakness, and still keep going using 15% push. These 6 months, are you proving one thing? You're not someone who quits. You're someone training a muscle. And to help you start right now, I've put a free guide in the description, interest audit, plus an AMCC training protocol, plus the 15% push. So you can choose the right one thing and not fall off halfway through. In the next video, I'll break down the Polymath strategy, how to structure your life and career so you can hold multiple passions without breaking your momentum. If you want to follow this series, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.